Welcome to Storytime.
It didn't record.
I'm crazy for lazy. We just did a video. I don't care.
Welcome to Storytime. Yes, I'm going to be walking around like this.
That's going to be very disorienting. I'm sitting still.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know if I'm sitting still, actually, because you can't see me.
Yeah, I can't see you, and that's actually kind of sad.
So who should go first on telling a childhood story?
I don't know. You go first.
All right. That's no wait. Youngest first.
Oh Jesus. Trying to think of a funny one that's not very depressing.
It can be like a sad story, like how you broke an arm.
I never broke a bone.
Coming up next, how Annie broke her arm. Crap.
Well, I know. So funny thing happened. So at my dad's house, I was at my dad's house. I said the word poop, and I laughed for 3 hours straight after that. Just from the word poop.
So you just laughed at the fact you said poop? Okay.
3 hours. 3 full hours. This is an issue.
So I'm trying to think of one story because I've got a lot of them. I've got stories of getting hurt, getting scared, getting trapped on... Oh, I know which one I'm going to use. So this is going to be like a 15-minute video, so we're going to get through at least 3 stories each.
Okay.
Wait, no, 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So
we're just going to say 7.
Yeah, we're just going to say we're going to try and do 7 stories evenly paced. So what I did is so over the summer, one summer, I went to the sling fair, and it was the first year they brought they brought the zipper back. The zipper, it's like a big ride, and it was the first year I could ride it. And immediately I found Molly Mills. She's this girl in my grade who used to be in my Girl Scout troop. Anyway, she was like, hey, I was like, hey, you want to go in the... For the life of me, I can't. We want to go on the zipper, and she's like, sure. We went through our cycle, and then we were like, and then he started up again, and we were both like, huh, maybe he's going a bit longer. Maybe he had some people that have already been on there for a while who are waiting to be let off. And then we went, and then we were trapped on there for 3 more cycles of the zipper going around. This was a couple summers ago, and then we were like looking around like, oh god, he forgot about us. Molly was trying to text her friends, but they weren't responding, and I didn't have a phone at the time, so I couldn't contact anybody. I don't think I could anyway. Nope, that was 5th going into 6th. Yeah. So I didn't have a phone at the moment. I was going to get one at the beginning of the school year, but I did not know that, but I didn't get one yet. So at the time, my mom was standing outside the zipper, and she was like, eventually, since the guy went a break, he was just sitting there. She was like, excuse me, I think my daughter and her friend are still on the zipper. And he was like, oh crap, I forgot about them. He left us dangling for a good 5 minutes. And it really scared me and Molly because they say never to like move in those if the thing isn't moving itself, because they're really kind of rickety. So we tried to stay as still as possible while I'll turn my head to occasionally look around. Okay, your turn.
Okay, so I was thinking the story of how I almost drowned.
Oh boy.
So I was like, I want to say 5 or 6 at the time. So
did you tell me this story already?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I went to not my friend's house, my stepdad's friend's house, and they had a pool in their yard. It wasn't like an inflatable pool. It was like one of those big, like really sturdy pools where it's not an in-ground pool, but like a sturdy, like stand-up pool.
I have one of those, and it's really crappy, and we don't use it anymore because tadpoles live in it.
Yeah, so it was 10 feet deep. So it was really deep. So since I couldn't swim at the time, because I never really went swimming, so I never had the experience of learning. So I was told just sit on the ladder for the pool and you'll be fine, like dip your toes in or something. So I was accidentally pushed into the water, and me not knowing how to swim was like the worst thing to possibly happen. I started drowning.
Insert wide-eyed face here, like.
I literally was like trying to paddle my way up because that's my first reaction. Get to surface, breathe. But at the time, I'm like, how do I swim? Me don't know. So I just started doggy paddling so I could actually breathe. I was literally screaming for my mother, but she didn't get me. I saved myself. I got out of the water. I never went in that pool again. Every time I went there, I was terrified of that thing.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, even after knowing how to swim, I'm still, like, traumatized from that pool.
How about you try and swim in it nowadays so you know how to swim?
No, I don't trust it.
Okay, so what's a good story I should tell? My life is full of literally almost dying.
Yeah, same.
Oh, I got a good one. I didn't know Ava at the time, but I think she went to the camp when this happened. This happened at summer camp. I don't think it was the same year. No, it was not the same year that I got trapped on the zipper. So I was at my cousin Glenn's graduation party, and there was bounce house, and there was this guy. I don't remember his name for the life of me. I think it was like Cole or something. I'm like totally wrong. Anyway, he was like throwing me and I was like, yay! And then he was like, he threw me once and he threw me. And then I like went down headfirst and landed I landed weird and I heard the bone crack in my arm. Long story short, it was broken, but we didn't know that. So next day, my mom was like, oh, you probably just pulled a muscle. And she took me to the rec center and tried to get me to swim. I tried swimming with only 3 limbs, and she's like, no, use your other one. It's like, oh, okay. And like, it hurt like somebody was literally cutting my arm off. Turns out, her making me go swimming actually made it worse because I had to use my left arm. And it was in a cast it was in a sling for most of the summer since I broke it in my upper arm and they don't make casts for up there. So I was in a sling with Ace Wrap and a lot of kids signed it. I don't know if you signed it.
Probably not. Well, I didn't know you at the time.
I went around and asked complete strangers to sign it.
I don't even remember you.
Exactly. Long story short, my arm is still kind of sensitive to this day. Like, it has the normal strength requirement for my age, but my right arm can lift much more because it's not the one that got broken. And I was still training my right arm over the summer. And yeah, I think we got time for one more story each.
Okay. My last story. What should I say?
I know which story I'm telling.
Okay,
Let's just say you were there when it happened.
Okay.
Which one are you going to tell?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You go first.
All right. Another story is from this past summer. And it kind of ruined the entirety of my summer and the beginning of the school year for me.
Oh, now I know.
She knows what I'm talking about. So, what I did is I was like, we were going to Dairy Queen with our summer camp over the summer. And we were walking there, and Josh was giving me piggyback rides because he's so tall. He's literally almost twice my height, and it's sad.
Josh is a friend.
He's legit almost twice my height, and it makes me so sad. But, so I was riding on him on the way back, and he ran ahead. He tried to go forward to get a bit more speed. He kind of lost his balance. He swerved to the right to make sure I would land in the grass. And guess what? I fell left onto the concrete head first, then both my elbows, then both my knees. Necessarily, unlucky for me, I had ice skating the next day. And we went, and my coach was like, "Yeah, I've never seen you this disoriented trying to do a toe loop. There's something wrong with you."
Yeah, you have some
Yeah,
problems.
needless to say, I went home early on the last day of camp.
That was really sad. So I hung out with Julianne and all that.
But the terrible thing is, I can only go on non-intense rides over the summer at the fair, which meant I could only go on the swings, the Ferris wheel, the fun houses, and some of the kiddie rides that I wasn't too tall for at the time. So not a lot. I didn't get to have much fun. Oh, I got to go on the pirate ship because it was calm enough, which is pretty awesome. But then at the beginning of the school year, for the entire time I had my concussion diagnosed, so for 2 months I didn't do anything ice skating, and it crushed my spirit.
And now here's another 2 months. So I figured out my story. Your hint, Annie.
Wow. Editing.
I don't know
Please actually try and edit that out.
how to edit.
Okay, fine. Wait, just like say in the description that you called me Annie as a joke. That's not my real name.
Yeah, I call her that as a joke because OCs, am I right?
Yeah,
So
one of her OCs is named Ava, and I have a habit of calling her Ava.
because that's what we call each other by our OC names. Okay, so
Nice.
so Rolling Hills.
I know what you're talking about now.
You know this.
Well, which one? There was like 2 instances of this happening in the one trip. No, you did it less severe on your left knee, and I don't think you remember.
No, I didn't do it on my left knee. I did it on my right.
Oh, bonus story after she's done talking. He was also
Okay.
at Rolling Hills.
So, Rolling Hills. Went there with summer camp, just like how
I was there.
Quasi was there at summer camp. So we went to Rolling Hills, which is a really cool, fun water
It's
park.
outside.
Yeah, they have a wave pool, regular pool, lazy river. They have all this.
My bonus story includes the wave pool.
God, okay. So I am in the lazy river with Quasi and another friend.
We'll just call her Jay.
Okay, Jay. So we're going through. So Quasi and Jay are up front, and I'm trying to catch up to them. My knee accidentally hits the floor, and I don't know if you know how lazy rivers are really sharp on the floors. I don't know if this is
God, that hurt.
But instead of like hitting my foot and running or something, I hit my knee and scraped my knee on the floor.
You kind of gashed it open a bit.
Yeah, so I basically split open my knee in a lazy river. How do you do that? It hurt, so I'm like, ow. At first, it was
say, me and Jay had to help her go get a bandage that wouldn't stay on.
Yeah, so the rest of the day sucked. But at first it wasn't bleeding, and then I noticed that it was bleeding a lot, and I'm like, oh, this is not nice.
I actually have 2 stories from Rolling Hills now. I'm gonna say them very briefly, so I'm not gonna go into detail.
Okay, so then Jay and Crazy had to walk me to get a huge band-aid that never stayed on. So I had a fun time swimming.
So I have 2 very brief stories. The first one's much easier to tell. So it had just finished raining, and I went down a little slide in the non-wet area. And since it was always so slippy and I was wearing a bathing suit, I skidded off. I hit all the fake grass and kind of cut my leg and bumped it in a way it hurt, and hit the concrete wall, preventing kids from just climbing out with my feet. But the bigger story there is when this girl, we'll just call her Elle, because I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. She's kind of a special ed kid, so I can excuse it. But she was like, no, you stay underwater, and shoved me under. And she was like, no, I want you too. You stay underwater. And she just shoves me under. And I was taking a breath at the moment. And I was like, Lindsay, please. And I literally got shoved underwater and I almost drowned. I remember I had to like drag myself to the front, and then when I got to the front, I coughed up a bunch of water. I don't know if you saw that, but
I don't think I was like in that area at the moment.
oh, you're lucky then, because I coughed up water.
Oh gee. If I seen that, I would have stopped it immediately.
And you would have gotten in trouble for trying to beat up somebody.
I wouldn't beat up someone. I would push them away.
Yeah. Well, guys, that kind of wraps up all the time we have for the video. We're hoping it's not 30 minutes like last time.
Yeah, it's only like 15, 30, or I don't know. Probably longer.
Yeah, so subscribe to both of the channels, Cosmic Cosplay and Crazy for Lazy. And I and she will probably see you in the next video if we make one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodbye.
We could do a story time part 2.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.